Once upon a time, in a cozy little mushroom house deep in the enchanted forest, lived a little Smurf named Clumsy. Now, Clumsy was known for his big heart and his even bigger tumbles. He could trip over a sunbeam and stumble on a perfectly flat patch of moss, but despite his name, Clumsy had a very big dream. He wanted to ride a bicycle. Every sunny morning, he'd watch with wide eyes as brainy Smurf zipped past on his shiny blue bike, a stack of books balanced perfectly on the back. He'd see Smurfette gracefully pedaling with a basket full of Smurf berries, her laughter echoing through the village. "Oh, how I wish I could do that," Clumsy would sigh, his little blue feet shuffling in the dirt. One day, Papa Smurf noticed Clumsy's wistful gaze. With a kind smile and a twinkle in his eye, he said, "Clumsy, my dear little Smurf, a dream is just a wish your heart makes, but with a little courage, it can become real. Today is the day you learn to ride." Papa Smurf led Clumsy to a small bright red bicycle that was just his size. It had been gathering dust in Papa Smurf's workshop. It wasn't as shiny as Brainy's, but to Clumsy, it was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. He touched the handlebars hesitantly. They felt cool and solid beneath his fingers. "All right, first things first," Papa Smurf said cheerfully. "Hop on." Clumsy tried. He lifted his foot, but his other foot got tangled, and before he knew it, he was in a heap on the ground, the bicycle toppling over with a gentle clatter. "Oof, see, Papa Smurf, I'm just too clumsy," he groaned, rubbing his head. Papa Smurf helped him up, his expression as patient as ever. "Nonsense. The first step to succeeding is often a little stumble. It just means you're trying. Let's try again, but this time I'll hold on." So, Clumsy got back on. This time, Papa Smurf held the back of the seat firmly. "Okay," Papa Smurf instructed. "Just focus on your feet. Push the pedals, one after the other. Don't worry about balancing. I've got you." Clumsy took a deep breath. He pushed down on one pedal, then the other. The bike wobbled, and Clumsy squeaked with a mix of fear and excitement. They moved forward, slowly, just a few feet. It felt wobbly and strange, but he was doing it. He was actually pedaling. I'm doing it," he shouted, a huge grin spreading across his face. "You certainly are." Papa Smurf puffed, jogging alongside him. "Keep your eyes looking forward, not down at your feet. Look where you want to go." They practiced like this for the rest of the afternoon. Clumsy fell a few more times, of course. Once, he steered right into a patch of soft Smurf mellows, landing in a fluffy, sweet-smelling pile. Another time, he forgot to pedal and tipped over so slowly that it was almost comical. Each time, Papa Smurf was there to help him up, dust him off, and say, "Every fall is a lesson learned." Now, what did we learn that time? Clumsy learned to keep his eyes ahead. He learned to steer gently. He learned that braking too hard made the bike skid. And most importantly, he learned that getting back up was part of the fun. The next day, as Clumsy and Papa Smurf were practicing near the Smurfberry bush, Hefty Smurf came jogging by. "Hey Clumsy, need a hand?" he asked, flexing his bicep. "I think he's got it, Hefty," Papa Smurf said with a wink. "But maybe you can give him a little encouragement." Hefty watched as Clumsy wobbled along. "You got this, little buddy. Pedal with power, show that bike who's boss," he cheered. Hearing Hefty's encouraging words, Clumsy felt a new surge of determination. He pedaled harder, the bike picked up speed, and for a glorious second, he felt Papa Smurf's hand leave the seat. He was balancing all by himself. And then, just as quickly, he realized Papa Smurf had let go. Panic set in. The handlebars wiggled wildly and, crash, he landed in a bush, thorns snagging his white hat. He sat up, a little dazed, and saw Papa Smurf standing a few feet away, smiling. "You did it, Clumsy." Papa Smurf exclaimed. "Did what?" "I fell," Clumsy said, confused, pulling a leaf from his ear. "Yes, but before you fell, you rode. For a whole 5 seconds, you were riding all by yourself." A tiny spark of pride ignited in Clumsy's chest. He had He had really done it? He scrambled out of the bush, his eyes shining. Let's do it again. And so they did. Day after day, Clumsy practiced. The 5 seconds of solo riding turned into 10, then 20. He still fell, but the falls became less frequent, and getting back on became second nature. He learned to trust himself, to feel the rhythm of the pedals and the subtle shifts in balance. One beautiful morning, Clumsy woke up with a feeling of pure confidence. He marched right to his little red bike. He didn't wait for Papa Smurf. He didn't ask for Hefty's cheers. He just got on. He took a deep breath, looked straight ahead toward the winding path that led out of the Smurf village, and pushed off. He pedaled. The bike wobbled for a moment, then steadied. He was riding. He wasn't just wobbling along. He was cruising. The wind whistled past his ears. He turned a corner smoothly this time. He dodged a sleeping Azrael, the cat, without even a squeak of panic. He felt free, light, and incredibly, wonderfully graceful. He rode past Brainy Smurf, who was so surprised he dropped a book. By my calculations, Clumsy, your coordination has improved by over 300%, Brainy called out. He pedaled past Smurfette, who was tending to her flowers. She clapped her hands and cheered. You look wonderful, Clumsy. You're a natural. Clumsy's heart swelled with happiness. He wasn't just Clumsy Smurf anymore. He was Clumsy Smurf, the bicycle rider. He rode all the way to the edge of the forest and back, a triumphant smile on his face the entire time. When he finally skidded to a stop back in the center of the village, all the other Smurfs had gathered to watch. They erupted in cheers and applause. Papa Smurf walked over and placed a proud hand on his shoulder. I knew you could do it, my little Smurf, he said softly. Clumsy looked at his reflection in the shiny bell of his bicycle. He saw a happy, confident Smurf looking back at him. He learned that day that it was okay to be a little clumsy. It was okay to fall down. Because the best feeling in the world wasn't about never falling. It was about having the courage to get back up and try again. And that, he realized, was a lesson far more valuable than just learning to ride a bike. From that day on, Clumsy still tripped and stumbled sometimes, but whenever he did, he just smiled, picked himself up, and remembered the feeling of the wind in his ears as he finally learned to fly on 2 wheels.